Now, talking about being a photographer, I know it might be hard to get like the 1, 2, 3s of that, but what are some of the components that make that up for you?
Well, I think the number one component is the passion that I have for the medium. You know, being able to engage yourself through an entire lifetime and continually be passionate about anything takes a lot of patience, persistence, and a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, there are highs and lows, as with anything in life, and oftentimes, you know, I'll go out and think, gee, you're the greatest photographer that ever lived, and then the next day I'll go out and go, you're worthless, you know, you don't know anything about this. One of the things I find most interesting about photography is that it's like any other art form. It's something you'll never learn in your lifetime. So it's a constant learning experience. And being engaged with that process of learning and growing and discovering about the world around you and yourself, those things are what keep the passion up for me. And that's what I mean by being a photographer.
Is there a particular example where you knew you raised the bar, like a specific photograph or a process change?
There often has been. I sort of have a joke with my wife that when we're out traveling and photographing, you know, I'll have been out wandering around in the desert for several hours and come back to the car and I'll say, well, I got the shot that'll pay for the trip. However, as often as I've said that, it won't come true. It won't happen. It has occasionally happened, and there have been a few photographs that I was pretty certain were going to be, you know, get me over that bar at the time.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it goes back to that preconceived idea. I still think there's a lot of magic in photography, and one of the biggest issues that photographers have, in my opinion, is, and I apply this to myself as well, is we have control issues. You know, we're controlling a lot of stuff with photography, the exposure, the development. It's a very technical, you know, pursuit. Being able to let go of control is often what'll get you over the bar, and that's difficult for a lot of people, including myself, to do. So it's a matter of kind of relaxing again and letting the process happen and not trying to force it.
Huntington, we were talking about that magic of being a photographer. Are there any particular moments that come to mind where we really, you know, felt that came to the surface in a big way?
Well, certainly, I think it happens every time I go out and photograph, at least once. And the idea is that there will come a time when I'm out photographing, usually, you know, I'm out in a remote place that's absolutely beautiful. One of the great things about being a photographer is you've kind of got this license to go out and look for really beautiful areas and then just walk around and look at things.
Yeah.
Any other, you know, profession, people think you're a little strange. But when you've got a camera, you know, you have this permission to just take in the world. And some of the places that I go are amongst the quietest places I've ever been. And just, you know, with my camera set up, and oftentimes I'm in a great rush to kind of beat the light because the light is constantly changing. I'll be standing there and just stop for a moment and reflect upon how beautiful the place is that I'm at, how quiet it is, how remote it is, and how small by comparison to the universe that I am. And it's a really wonderful revelation that I enjoy, and it's kind of the pinnacle for me of being a photographer.
Listen, thanks for joining us. It's been great to have you on our show.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Be sure to subscribe to our blog now to stay updated on my show, and we'll give you tips and insight to keep advancing your photography. Also, check out our guests' website for a closer look at their work. Tune in to our next episode of Advancing Your Photography for an inside look at another photographer's world. Until then, this is Marc Silber reminding you to get out and capture your own images of life.